In this video, we're going to continue looking at integrating polar curves, and we're going to look at some harder examples. So our first one is this one here. So we have two curves, r equals 3 sine theta and r equals 1 plus sine theta. We'd like to find the region R, which is the region bounded by the two curves. Now, I strongly encourage you to pause the video and just, well, attempt this if you like in full, but at least pause and try to think, what is the strategy? What integrals do we even need to set up to solve this problem? Well, I think this is actually probably the hardest part of the question. Doing the integration, if you know integration, not so difficult, but actually setting it up is quite tricky. Our strategy is to split this into two regions. Oh, one thing actually, first thing to say is I'm actually only going to bother finding 1/2 of R, and I'll just double my answer at the end. So I'm going to find basically the right-hand side of R. And I'm going to split it up into two regions. I'll draw a line, supposed to be a straight line, from the origin, or the pole, to the intersection here. Now notice that this region here, this is going to be the integral of the 3 sine theta curve. And this region round here, I'm going to be integrating the 1 plus sine theta part. If that's not obvious to you, you're not alone. This takes a bit of practice to develop intuitions here. I'm going to jump over to GeoGebra to show you exactly why that's the case. So here in GeoGebra, I've got those two curves. So step one is to use the large curve here. That's the 3 sine theta curve. And when I integrate, it's basically like drawing out and shading in the region up to this point. Now I don't want to keep going, or else I'll be shading in loads of stuff up here as well, which I don't want. So what I need to do now is hop over to the other curve and then continue on the other curve like this, shading round here. And by shading round, I mean integrating. So, well, obviously, I don't know why it stops there, but should be a smoothly shaded region here, and you'll capture all of this. So that explains why we need to follow the large curve up to this point here. We need to follow and therefore integrate the smaller curve for the rest of the journey. So just to kind of recap that, between theta equals 0 and whatever the value of theta is here, we're going to be integrating the large curve. And then between whatever theta is here and pi over 2, we'll be integrating this other curve. Okay, so our first job is going to be to find out what theta is here, and then we'll carry out our two integrations. So now that we've got a strategy, let's go ahead and solve it. We've got to find what theta is here. We do that by figuring out, basically equating the curves, right? By setting 3 sine theta equal to 1 plus sine theta, we'll figure out when the values of R are the same at the same value of theta. So 3 sine theta equals 1 plus sine theta gets me 2 sine theta equals 1, which means sine theta equals 1/2, and therefore theta is pi over 6. Now, yes, there are more solutions, but the only one between 0 and 2 pi is pi over 6. So this is the point where theta is pi over 6. So the two things I need to work out then, let's just label these two regions. Let's call this region A and let's call this region B. So A is going to be the integral of, well, 1/2 times the integral of r squared. And I'm using the 3 sine theta, that's this curve here. So that is 3 sine theta squared d theta between theta equals 0 and theta equals pi over 6. After I've worked that out, I'll be working out B, and I'll come to that in a moment. So let's just compute this. So first thing to do is figure this out. So that's 9 sine squared theta. I'm going to pull that 9 out. So I've got 9 over 2. And then it's sine squared theta. And what is sine squared theta when I'm integrating? Well, it's the same as 1/2 minus 1/2 cos 2 theta. Such a useful identity, that. So now I can integrate. So that's 9 over 2. And then it's 1/2 theta minus, well, integral of cos 2 theta is half sine 2 theta, so we've got a quarter sine 2 theta between 0 and pi over 6. So when I sub in pi over 6, I get half of pi over 6, which is pi over 12. And then a quarter sine of 2 times pi over 6. So that's sine of pi over 3. I'm going to rely on the calculator here. Sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. And a quarter of that is root 3 over 8. So pi over 12 minus root 3 over 8. So for now, I think I'll just maybe expand that and leave it as it is, and then we'll think about neatening it up later. So we've got 9 over 2 times pi over 12, which is 3/8 pi. And then I've got root 3 over 8, and then that times 9 over 2. So that's 9 over 16. So minus 9 over 16 root 3. Okay, now for region B. Region B is going to be, well, it's the half of the integral, and it's now of the curve 1 plus sine theta. So 1 plus sine theta all squared. And now it's between the angle that we just got to, pi over 6, and pi over 2. And that's going to give me this region B. So what do we get here? Well, it's half times the integral, and we get 1 plus 2 sine theta plus sine squared theta. And sine squared theta, as we know, is half minus half cos 2 theta. Continuing that integral here, we can actually just do the integration now. So it's half of, and I've got 1 plus a half, so that's 3 over 2. Integrating that is 3 over 2 theta. Then I've got 2 sine theta, which integrates to minus 2 cos theta. And then I've got minus a half cos 2 theta, which integrates to minus a quarter sine 2 theta. And all of that between pi over 6 and pi over 2. So subbing in pi over 2, I've got half, and 3 over 2 times pi over 2 gives me 3/4 pi. Cos of pi over 2 is 0, so that's 0. And then sine, well, 2 times pi over 2 is pi, and sine of that is 0. So that's all we get there. Then when I sub in pi over 6, so 3 over 2 times pi over 6 is a quarter pi. Then minus 2 cos pi over 6. Cos pi over 6 is root 3 over 2, and I've got 2 of those, so minus root 3. And then sine of 2 pi over 6, that's sine, let's do this on the calculator. So we've got sine pi over 3, and then that times a quarter, so 3/8, root 3 over 8, minus an eighth root 3. So in total, our region B, how many pi's have we got? We've got 3/4 pi times a half, and we've also got minus pi over 8. So in total, that's a quarter pi. And how many root 3's have I got? Well, inside this bracket, I've got minus root 3 and minus 1/8 root 3. So I've got minus 9 over 8 root 3, but it's half of that. So that's minus 9 over 16 root 3, but it's minus here, so that's plus 9 over 16 root 3. Okay, I now have A and I have B. So my A plus B, this was A, and this was B. Notice that the 9 over 16 root 3's actually cancel, which is lovely, leaving me with 3/8 pi plus a quarter pi. So 3/8 pi plus a quarter pi is 5/8 pi. But that was just half of the region. So the region R is double that. And I ended up with R equals 5 over 4 pi. Just to recap, I think the tricky thing is figuring out what bits we need to actually integrate and what the range of the integral is from theta equals what to what. Once we've done it, Okay, it's not the easiest integral in the world, but it's kind of just cranking the handle and working through the algebra. I'm not saying it's easy to make mistakes, but fundamentally, once we've set it up, it is a standard integral using a trig substitution. So hopefully that bit's fine. If you pay attention, you can get all the way through that without any errors. Okay, let's have a go at another tricky integration problem. So again, do pause and try this one for yourself first. Let's have a read. The curve C, shown in figure 1, has polar equation r equals 2 plus cos theta. At the point A on C, the value of r is 5 over 2. The point N lies on the initial line, and AN is perpendicular to the initial line. The finite region R shown in figure 1 is bounded by the curve, the initial line, and AN. Find the exact area of region R. Okay, so again, let's think carefully about the setup. If I just integrate this curve from pi equals 0 up to whatever, from theta equals 0 up to whatever theta is A, I'll get all of R and this triangle here. So I think my strategy is going to be calculate all of that, then work out the area of this triangle and subtract. So we'll probably need to begin by figuring out what theta is at A. So what do I know? I know that R is 5 over 2 at that point. So I think I can just sub 5 over 2 in here. Let's just do that down here. So I have 5 over 2 is equal to 2 plus cos theta. So cos theta equals a half, and therefore theta is pi over 3. Okay, so theta equals pi over 3 there. And you know what, I can actually work out the area of the triangle already, because if theta is pi over 3, if that's pi over 3, then, and that's 5 over 2, I can work out what ON is and what AN is, and therefore work out the area of the triangle. So ON is 5 over 2 cos theta, which is, well, cos pi over 3, which I know that's what the angle is. So that's 5 over 4. And NA is 5 over 2 sine theta, sine pi over 3. So 5 over 2 times sine pi over 3 is 5 over 4 root 3, which means the area of ONA is half times base times height, and that gives me an exact value of 25 root 3 over 32. So not the prettiest answer, but there is the area of ONA. Now I can work out the integral of my curve from theta equals 0 up to theta equals pi over 3 and subtract this. So I'm looking for half times the integral of r squared. R is 2 plus cos theta, d theta between 0 and pi over 3. So expanding this, we get 4 plus 4 cos theta plus cos squared theta. You'll see that very often I do this in one go. Just get used to that because it's quite useful. Rather than bothering to write cos theta and cos squared theta and writing a whole extra line, it's useful to just say, look, I know what cos squared theta is. It's a half plus half cos 2 theta. I know I'll need it in that form because I'm integrating. So now I can do the integral. So I've got 4 plus a half, so that's 9 over 2. So we get 9 over 2 theta. The integral of 4 cos theta is 4 sine theta. And the integral of half cos 2 theta is a quarter sine 2 theta. And that's all happening between 0 and pi over 3. So subbing in pi over 3, I get half of 9 over 2 times pi over 3. So that's 3 over 2 pi. Then plus 4 sine pi over 3. Sine pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. Times that by 4 and it's 2 root 3. Then a quarter sine 2 times that. So Sine of 2 times pi over 3 is also root 3 over 2, and that divided by 4 is an eighth root 3. Now time to sub in 0, but when we sub in 0 we just get 0, right? 9 over 2 times 0, sine 0, sine 0. So in total, probably just expanding all of this, we have 3 over 4 pi. And how many root 3's have we got? We've got 2 plus an eighth, and all of that over 2. So that's 17 over 16 root 3. So 17 over 16 root 3. And so my final answer is simply going to be this integral that I've just computed minus the triangle. So r equals 3/4 pi plus 17 over 16 root 3 minus 25 over 32 root 3, giving me a final answer of 3/4 pi. Then 17 over 16 minus 25 over 32 gets me 9 over 32 root 3. And so there is my area for R. So again, what's the hard bit? The hard bit is setting all up. After that, it's just integration. I don't want to be silly about this. I'm not saying integration is easy. I'm saying there's no problem solving element there. Once you have the integral, you pay attention, you use what you know, and you can work through the problem. Okay, that's all for now. See you in the next video.